Yo, Xnel here, and we got this new free 5-star character for everybody, Aloy. In patch 2.2, everybody's got this in their mail, but I've had Aloy for about 6 weeks since the last patch because I logged in on the PS4, and so we got Aloy early. But everybody has her now, and I want to tell you about my experience with this free 5-star character. Spoiler alert, she's not that good. When you read her talents, if you read her elemental skill, each stat increases Aloy's normal attack damage. So when you do her elemental skill, there's gonna be these mini bombs, and when these mini bombs explode, if you get 4 explosions, then you will get cryo infusion in your normal attacks. This is a level 6 elemental skill talent, and when you have 4 stacks of the coil, you will get 38.5% normal attack damage bonus. And this is going to be in cryo. Now when you look at that, when you read it, when you hear about it, she sounds like a really good main DPS, right? But with my experience, I've been trying her out for about a month now. It's really hard to trigger the condition of the 4 mini bombs to explode in combat. You need the assistance of Jean or Kazuha. Kazuha being the best bet. Sucrose doesn't work well because she doesn't cluster the mines together as well. Venti doesn't pick up the bombs at all. So you got Jean and Kazuha, and I'll show you what I mean. So with Aloy, you're doing normal attacks normally without her buff. What you want to do is you use your elemental skill, and then you're gonna get these mini bombs in the area. And when 4 of them explode, you will infuse yourself with cryo. So now your attacks are going to deal cryo damage. Now that's all well and good on a big enemy, right? If it attacks, then it can explode the bombs. But you see, in this scenario, it doesn't even happen. Like we just got lucky earlier. You see here? You have to do some type of intervention or wait for them to attack before you can get your cryo infusion. If you're always waiting for the cryo infusion of your Aloy, and your Aloy is going to have definitely a cryo bonus goblet and cryo bonus on the artifacts, then you're not doing a lot of DPS because you're doing physical damage. So the way you mitigate that is by using an animal character like Jean or Kazuha. It's much easier with Kazuha, but I don't have Kazuha. Let me show you what I mean. Even though you still use Jean, it's still not as good. So we throw the bombs, and then we group them up, and then your cryo infusion has already started counting down. Even when you're on Jean. So you lose like maybe 1 second, maybe 2 seconds if you're even slower. It just kills and then you see how fast my cryo infusion just went away, and now you have to do it again, all over again, and then go back to Aloy. It doesn't even work. Where's my cryo infusion? As you saw there, we exploded every single bomb with Jean, and when we switched back to Aloy, there was still no cryo infusion. Because as you can see here, right here, Aloy can gain up to 1 coil stack every 0.1 seconds. Not only do you have to deal with having to group up the mini bombs with another character and then lose seconds, precious seconds of that buff because you're still on the animal character, you also have to deal with not grouping them up too fast, and you explode them all in one instance and you won't get the cryo buff because there's a 0.1 second cooldown for getting every stack. It's just so weird. Now with that being said, I think the only way to play her now is by using her as just a quick swap, skill, and burst spammer. My recommended build for her is just use the stringless, because then if you're just using elemental skill and elemental burst, you'll be focusing on that damage. That's 48% more skill damage and burst damage at refinement 5 stringless. Now you have elemental mastery here, so for you to make use of that, you gotta use elemental reactions. You gotta maybe apply pyro to the enemy first and then do Aloy's burst. So she works really well if you have a pyro main DPS like Diluc, Yanfei, Xiangling, Klee. She's gonna work really well in a pyro main DPS team. Other options for Aloy weapon, if you don't have stringless, a good option would be the Blackcliff Warbow. That way you have high base attack and high crit damage, and then you can adjust your substats of your artifacts to have more crit rate or more crit damage if you still want more crit damage. Another option is the Sacrificial Bow. This way you have high base attack and high energy recharge for you to be able to spam that burst. Windbloom Ode is also another option. However, if you're new to the game, it is currently not possible to get this anymore. It was a limited time event. It might come back in the future, But yeah, if you have this, this is also another substitute for the stringless, which basically acts much in the same way. And then for her artifacts, her sands, I would recommend either attack percent or energy recharge. If you find yourself unable to spam the burst on cooldown, then you might want to go with energy recharge sands. If you are able to spam it on cooldown by using attack sands, then just use attack sands. Goblet is of course cryo damage bonus, and then your circlet is going to be crit rate or crit damage, whichever you're lacking. Remember to try to get a ratio of 1:2 crit rate to crit damage. And yeah, again, constellations, still no word. I really had hope that we were gonna get her constellations and it's gonna make her a more viable main DPS. Sadly, no. And then for her talents, you want to focus on that burst, and then after that you focus on the skill, and then normal attack. Don't even bother with the normal attack because she just is broken in a bad way. So for team comp, she's good on any pyro main DPS team. Another team that you can use Aloy in is if you have a perma-freeze team. For example, you got Ayaka, and then you got Xingqiu, and then you add Aloy there, and then you add Sayu. Now this would be a good team because you got perma-freeze from Kamisato Ayaka and Xingqiu, and then you got Aloy for the 15% crit rate from the cryo resonance, and then you also have cryo particles to act as a battery for Ayaka. And then now all you need is an animo character to spread around more of those cryo and hydro effects, plus you also get the healer in Sayu. Now you can use another animo character. You're just gonna have to survive better by using Xingqiu's shields and Xingqiu's little bit of healing. But I do recommend Sayu in this team comp. How would you like to get shot in the face? Bam! 82k! No cooldown burst, you're still not gonna be bursting. Bam! Bam! 87k! Pretty good, right? So come here. Come here. Ow. You got Electro Swirl. Oh well. If you want to see this Aloy in action, you can watch my live streams on fb.gg/xnlph, and you can join our Discord community of over 12,000 members. That's discord.gg/xnl, link in the description. See you guys around. Pyro buff first. Pyro buff. Alright. Aloy. Do it, Aloy. Whoa! That is good damage! Wow!